I'm looking forward to when we combine everything, so costumes, hair, makeup, lights, sound, just everything, and then like it feels like we actually have a show. Yay.
Well, my favorite costume in the show is Heidi's dress because look at it.
Slay queen.
So fantastic.
It's so gorge.
It's gorgeous.
We love.
Something I will miss most is hanging out with the cast and just making fun memories and getting to laugh together.
What are you most looking forward to for the show?
Just like being mean. It's so fun.
Start out and there's the Bennett family. There's 5 sisters and there's mom and dad, right? And this new guy moves in next door and he's rich. And so the mom is like, oh my god, one of my daughters needs to marry them. Like, so they set up this whole thing to like get him to marry her. Any of the daughters, they don't care which daughter. And so they set this up and they go through like multiple balls. And while they're at the balls, Elizabeth, who's the second oldest, she meets this guy named Mr. Darcy, and he's really grumpy at the beginning and she doesn't like him at all. And so then more stuff happens. Basically Jane, who's the oldest, falls in love with Mr. Bingley, and then there's like Lydia finds this guy named Mr. Wickham and she's like, oh my gosh, like he's cute too. And so there's just a lot of like matchmaking going on. And at the end of Act 2, Mr. Darcy proposes to Elizabeth and she rejects him. So in Act 1. Then in Act 2, we find out that Lydia and Wickham ran away together. Keep in mind, none of the girls are married. Lydia is the youngest, so the fact that she's getting married first, she's 15 years old, like that's not good. So Lydia runs away and gets married to Wickham, and they're all like, oh my god, like this is so bad, we don't know if she's safe, whatever, all this bad stuff. And when she comes back, she's such a snob, and she's like, oh my god, like I'm married, and they are all super annoyed with her. And then they meet the aunt and uncle, and the aunt and uncle take Elizabeth, who's the second oldest, to Pemberley, and they're like visiting it and whatever. And Mr. Darcy comes over again, and Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth talk again, and then and so now this is I'm seeing each other after this is their first time seeing each other after she rejected him. So it's really awkward. All of a sudden, Mr. Bingley and Jane propose, they get married. And then at the end of the show, there's this really big, like, intense, like, talking scene, and Mr. Darcy proposes to Elizabeth, and then they are in love, and then the last scene, it's the cutest scene ever, it's so cute. They just talk about like, when did you know you were in love with me, and like, it's so cute, and then they get married. So 3 out of the 5 sisters get married, but my character Kitty doesn't get married, and neither does Mary, and it's really sad, but yeah.